year conclave in Mumbai, and we have with us Mr. Rajesh Narayan Gupta. He is the managing partner of SNG and Partners. We'll talk to him about succession and family businesses. Sir, one of the issues, what are some of the issues that you think that really come during your own interaction with clients when it comes to succession planning? What are the key problems that the families are facing where your role becomes even more important?
You see, in our experience, there are three kind of families who are coming and approaching us. One family will say are the small middle class families who just want to do their vanilla succession planning. There is the estate will go to the wife and followed by kids, and the wife predeceases it will go only the kids, this, that, and the other. The second is the upper middle class who are coming with the requirements in the nature of will as well as private trust. The nature to do private trust is that they wish to make sure that there is some asset protection in the event of the business is going wrong. And the third category is the most prominent category, which is multiplying, is the SMEs, the small medium enterprises, who have the desire to either get listed or they have the desire to get private equity. So they require a mix of business succession planning as well as the succession planning. And there the structure is at times a little more complicated with a holding company and with a trust structure. And the last, which will not be require mention, is the very, very wealthy families who generally are already with family offices.
And what about you mentioned about small and medium enterprises becoming now very active. So do you see a very strong potential of them having the need to understand the succession planning?
Absolutely, because the businesses from one generation to the other, when they continue, if the business succession planning is not done, then the second or third generation will lose all what they have created. And there are several examples of this effect. But if a proper succession business planning is done, then for generations the wealth is protected, the business is protected.
Absolutely. So what are the critical areas when it comes to making a will, for instance, where you think that it's important to understand that people should keep in mind when they are deciding to prepare a will?
You see, first of all, their family requirements. Whether they want to go to their wife, to their children. At times the people have got handicapped or special children. People have families outside families. So depending on what their exact requirement is, you have to structure a will accordingly. There is no straight jacket formula which we have experienced. Each will is different to the other. Yes, the basic thing is that we want the testator, we want the beneficiaries, we want the details of estate. But how these are to be devolving on whom, etc., needs to be planned with each of the testator.
Right. So some of the examples that you cited during your presentation there, you said that. So could you highlight some of the examples where succession planning was important, like you mentioned about a family in Gurgaon which had deaf and dumb kids, and they wanted to kind of do that. So could you highlight that again for us?
No, maybe I can highlight two cases where this deaf and dumb case happened out of Delhi, where a large business family, they had these 3 daughters or 4 daughters, all deaf and dumb, and they adopted a son who was not doing that great, and he had some criminal background also eventually, and they wanted to plan that how the estate is going to devolve on these daughters. Then in his lifetime, he was able to find suitable matches for marriage. Because he was very wealthy, so he could have some people from middle class or low middle class with whom these daughters were married. And then he had an extension plan in the will or the trust, which said that when the eldest child will be of 20 or 22 years of age, at that point of time the trust is going to extinct and the estate is going to devolve. For the simple reason, as I just said, that he thought in his wisdom that child may respect his mother, the husband may not. So this was a very unique example which we became privy to handling. And the other was a case based of Gurgaon, where a very successful couple, younger child almost 6-7 years old and the elder child almost 24 years old. And they always thought that the son will come in dominant control of business, whereas the daughter would only be studying. So they wanted this daughter to make all mistakes of their life. So they created a structure where the wealth passed on to her at the age of 32. As well as the participation in business. So it all depends, what their needs are, what their fields are, and to what strata of society they are belonging. There could be very conservative traditional families. There could be ultra modern families. So depending on what kind of family needs you are expected to answer, then it goes by that.
So what are some of the quick points which you would think that one should keep in mind while setting up trusts? And that is something which is very critical. You talked about a trust which is set up through a will, and a life trust as well. So could you point some?
No, trust simply where Like for example, these daughters who were deaf and dumb, the trust came into play and only under the will. When the person was no more, there was resultant trust in the will, and there were pre-nominated trustees who took over the control of the estate. But those cases where business succession planning is required or some asset protection is required on immediate basis. For example, certain manufacturers, industrialists who have got credit facilities, who may at any point of time be subjected to the invocation of their personal guarantees, and those situations where the assets may be attached by third parties. There, I think they create private trust only for asset protection, so that in the worst case scenario or the doomsday, at least those assets which are parked in trust are not touched by anybody. But here I may just add a caveat that this transfer of asset must be made in good times. Because if they do it when the guarantee is invoked, it may fall within the definition of fraudulent transfer. So they have to plan it well, plan on time, so that nobody can question the transfer of asset from individual to trust.
Okay. So you also talked about the role of intention, which is important. Can you elaborate a bit on that in case of will?
You see, when somebody, in most of the cases when the will is done by somebody, he many times is under a particular psychological state of mind. He may get a little poetic about it. He may say that, how he has passed his life. He may say that how his children are going to be educated or married or whatever. Then in those situations when the flow of will is written, unless it's a very short will, at times that flow is broken or the intentions, multiple intentions come from the will. So therefore you have actually to read the will in between the lines and see what the actual intention of testator is, with whom he wishes to park his estate and to what extent. But in most of the will, it is not that evasive. If you read the will properly, the intention comes. But the problem here is that in most of the cases, people just go and execute and register the will without complying the basics. That is the issue of witnesses. Because if any given time it is proved that witnesses had not signed in presence of testator and testator had not signed in their presence, the will become defective. So it's a technical document which at times these basic formalities are ignored.
Okay. So, could you point about in case there is no will at all, then what happens in that case?
So then there is a natural succession platform. There, like in Hindu system, there are class 1 legal heirs, which is mother, wife, and children. So in that event, it will go to the mother or wife and children to the equal extent. Father is in class 2 category. So supposing that somebody has no mother but has a will and has a wife and children, it will go to wife and children. But if mother, wife, children are not there, then it will go to the father, and so on and so forth.
So is there because usually it's believed that a will is made only when you are almost retired, when you are getting old. Is there an ideal time or a right time in somebody's life to decide that now is the right time to make a will?
In my opinion, when somebody is set in his business or business opportunity, maybe mid-30s or late 30s, that is the most ideal time to do that, so that succession is planned. And it doesn't just happen abruptly. Today we have got the concept where maybe the son is not living with parents, or they are unmarried children living with parents, and one son is married and living separately. So the wife and children, they should not be deprived of any given situation. Then in that situation, he needs to do a will on time. And we have multiple cases where people prefer to do, especially the educated lots, they prefer to do a small will and place it than to be waiting indefinitely on this issue.
Absolutely. So lastly, the great Indian middle class, we are seeing a lot of middle class now generating enough wealth, and so what is something for them? I mean, is it equally important for them to also do succession planning?
Absolutely. That is the most target audience which need to do and address this, and more of them are also rushing to family offices. Right. Today you might be surprised to know that all private banking, all wealth management bankers, they are focusing on estate administration and planning. Each one of them is pitching this product to their customers. So there is a wide scale education on this subject all over India. Unfortunately, the other India which we spoke about, the rural and the undeveloped, etc., there these things have not gone to that level. But barring that, the bankers themselves are chasing. It may be State Bank, it may be State Bank of Maharashtra, it may be Standard Chartered, it may be Merrill Lynch. All have got a great team in place on estate planning and management.
Right. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.